Hello, everybody. This one's just for Super Blah, all right? You pointed it out last time. I messed it up. Didn't have rock, paper, scissors. We're going to have rock, paper, scissors this time. So you ready, Super Blah? Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Rock, paper, scissors, shoe. And rock, paper, scissors, shoe. Or rock sandwich. How about that? We rockin', boys. Hello, everybody. Here we are. I mentioned the last time I registered for a second chess tournament. So here we are with chess tournament number 2. I'm super excited. I'm ready to go. And looking forward to getting into these videos. There's only 4 rounds this time. The first one was 5. This one's 4 rounds. Hopefully they won't be as long. I'm gonna work on that. And let's just get right into it, eh? So here we are. Again, I always do myself on the bottom, so I am white. I like getting white in round 1. It helps, you know, sort of ease into things with a little bit less pressure, get a better initiative, hopefully win. And winning round 1 in Swiss tournaments is just huge for tiebreakers. But anyway, I'm wasting time talking. This is why videos get 50 minutes. So, you guys know at this point, e4, e5, playing Vienna, but aha, he doesn't bring out one of the knights. So, what this one tries to do is, obviously, you guys have seen in other ones, like if, you know, I do this, a common way of defending against the Vienna gambit, we saw last tournament, everyone was taking my pawn. Commonly, you'll see people defend this way, and then it blocks in your dark squared bishop. So it's not the greatest, but it's still totally fine. It's playable. So the benefit of, where were we? Here we are. The benefit of bringing the bishop now first is to hope for them to transition into a sort of decline, but now he would be in front of the pawn, and it's just a lot better for black that way. So the best way for me to play is I have to immediately attack and go after him, and then try and not let him get advantage of being out ahead of things and mess up all of his position and all that jazz, and then find a way to fight back against the bishop and punish it for coming out and just get rid of it. Just get it out of there. You can't have it. No. So I go after it as I always do. He takes, and you have to bring the knight out first because you don't want to get hit with this and then you immediately lose the game. So remember, you bring your knight out, and then I'm looking to expand with d4, which will attack the bishop, give me 2 pawns in the center, controlling everything out, and then I'll just immediately recapture this guy, and it just kind of helps me accelerate, because now he's wasting time pushing this guy back. He can't move, can't do anything. I take over here. Knight's already developed, and you're just good to go. So he brings out the knight, though, which got me a little confused, because as you guys are aware from last tournament, when the knight goes in and then they accept Vienna gambit, you push e5, chase the knight away, he wastes all of his time. Heaven forbid he tries to bring the queen out to pin, because once I block the pin, he's in a world of shit. And that's what we saw last time. So now I'm just like, wait, hold on. I was already planning on pushing d4 to attack this guy. Do I still do that first, or do I switch up and now attack this guy? I don't know which piece to attack. I don't know. This hasn't happened to me before. I'm like, all right, I know it's not great, but I don't know which one I do first. Plus, if I go d4 first, that opens me up for this. If I go d4 first, you know, he can go over here, and then I push anyway. But aha. So that's what I end up doing. I end up pushing d4 first. And I realized as I was making the, whatever you see, the move list on the side, preparing for the video, that I don't think this is the right one. Initially, my thought was, okay, fine, if he pins me, I don't care. If he takes, I don't care. Fine, double my pawns, give me a strong pawn chain in the middle. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, opens up my rook. So I don't care about getting this double pawn. Having a doubled c-pawn, like, I don't even think is a problem unless it's like move 40 plus and there's nothing left except pawns. You know, then double pawn sucks. But early game, doubled c-pawns are not bad. The problem is then if I go e5, I just didn't think the line far enough. If I then push e5, he now gets lots of pressure on here, and I'm going to lose the doubled c-pawn unless I spend time either A, defending it again with one of these 2 moves, but then I'm not recapturing here, and then it just causes lots of problems, and it slows me down, it gets me out of my way, blocks my own light squared bishop in if I want to still go after this pawn, blah, 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 blah. So super complicated that I didn't think of at the time, but now I know. Granted, this position will probably never happen for me again, but now I know. I think e5 is probably the better move, and I didn't do it. So thankfully, he didn't pin me anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, cat breaking down the door. So it didn't matter. It's fine. Now I get to play e5, and now he doesn't get the luxury of going to these squares because my knight is not pinned. So now he gets to either go back or go here, I guess. French toast, shut up! Neither one of those are very great. I'll move my knight at some point and it'll be nice undefended, although he's probably just, you know, going to do one of those. But first I'm going to recapture this pawn, so that way there's dramatically less threat if I want to move this knight somewhere to open up this attack. Just recapture the material while I can. Hell, maybe even I'll just queenside castle, get extra defense over here since he's got a bishop on it, and go from there. Especially if he's going to end up pushing, maybe I just take and just open up all these lines, queenside castle, and just go. We'll see. Maybe, no, I wouldn't take. I would let him take because I want to accelerate. Anyway, doesn't matter. But then he did another move. So this is now 2 moves out of, what, 7? We're on move 7. 2 moves out of 7 that I've never seen before that are... I don't know if his other knight move was interesting. Interesting for me in terms of, gosh, how do I attack this move that's probably not very sound? But this one's more interesting. If you watch Grandmaster play, you know, their positions are locked, they're fighting, they're doing whatever, everything's equal, and then randomly one of them will just be like, here's a massive pawn push in the middle and everything's going to get destroyed and who knows what the hell's going to happen. So not to say that this is like a Grandmaster move or anything, but it reminded me of those of like, crap. Like, sometimes it's hard to predict, just like random pawn attack in the center, things are going to happen, I'm going to lose my pawn chain, and what am I going to do about this? Obviously, I don't want to take, because that just gives his bishop all the freedom in the world. I'll never be able to castle on this side. Granted, castling queenside might not be that bad, especially if there's a bishop I'm attacking with the rook. But I don't really want to, you know, start losing these. If I chop over here, well, now this guy is going to be faulty. Yeah, pieces are defending it for the moment, but it totally just kind of breaks me down a little bit. So I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to attack. I thought maybe I go after the bishop, okay, but then he'll just put me in check. And all right, I guess I can defend against it, but if he takes the pawn while I'm defending, then I can't take back. So, all right, what if I go over here and he does the thing? Okay, maybe that's better, because then I can defend the check, and if he takes, I still can't take, but I don't know. So I ended up attacking, but I wasn't really confident or comfortable with what to do here. I mean, I certainly have a couple of moves that I can take it with. Honestly, taking it with this horse would probably be better. So I figured I'm going to spend the time attacking the bishop. If it goes down here, I'll give myself some reinforcement, and, you know, maybe defending with either my queen or my knight is fine. I don't have to worry about recapturing with the pawn. You know, if he wants to try and bring his bishop back somewhere, or if he wants to leave it, maybe I can just attack it, get it out of here. That's fine too. So I wanted to play something more offensive. A lot of the times when I'm reviewing some of my games, the computer would be like, oh no, you should have done this by defending by moving your piece forward instead of defending by moving your piece backwards. So I was like, yeah, let's do something offensive. He's got no pawns here that can directly harass the horse, so he's actually a little bit safe. You know, this guy's already moved back. He can't go back to attack it. This horse can't attack it. His queen doesn't have a direct one move place to go after it with. You know, he's going to have to free this bishop up to be able to attack it. So the horse is actually kind of safe there, undefended in the middle of the board. So I thought, you know, we'll counteract that way. He does put me in check. I block with the pawn. That's totally fine. As I said, I've got 2 pieces defending this guy. If he chooses to take, I'll decide later which one's better if he ends up going that route. And he doesn't end up going that route. He castles, which gives me more decisions. Do I take the pawn now so that it's free? I like my pawn structure. I think I would rather he take. You know, part of the Vienna Gambit is you want to, if your pieces are already defended, it's really good to spend your time developing pieces instead of spending time defending or attacking or you know, safeguarding pieces that are being attacked. If it's already defended, let him spend the time to defend it or to attack it and take it, and then I'm already defending, so just recapture and then fine. But now I've saved that turn, getting some sort of offensive change in my position, whether that's putting out a light squared bishop somewhere, whether it's chasing this knight away. Theoretically, I guess I could move the horse just to activate this. Maybe. He doesn't have any good prospects of anywhere else to go at the moment, though. I mean, maybe I go down here and break this pin, and then I could recapture with the pawn if I wanted. So a lot of options. I need to decide on something. So for the sake of time, I figured I'll just push this over here. He doesn't have really any squares he can safely go to. Maybe he takes a pawn, but I'm fine with heck. If he takes the pawn, then this is even better. So I figured chances are he's going to go there, and I'll get to open him up, and that's exactly what happens. So trade that piece off. He gets horrible doubled H-pawns and a nice open king, so super happy about that. And I do decide now to take. I still don't like it. I feel like I probably shouldn't have, but I also kind of figured he's made a few dubious moves. Maybe they were good, but I've never seen him before. He's got a really weak open king. You know what? Let me just take the pawn. You know, yeah, I could get better development and get castled and do some stuff with having a trade, but my pawns will get a little bit messed up. So if my pawns are going to get messed up either way, unless I guess I block the pin of the C pawn, if my pawns are going to get messed up either way, I may as well go up a pawn rather than be equal in pawns with messed up pawns. So I think that's what I decided. Plus I wanted to make a quick move. I don't know. We'll see. If he wants to, you know, eventually open up this light square bishop, I'll have really good pawns in the middle that way. If he wants to open up the light square bishop that way, I mean, I guess I could take, but no, I wouldn't. It would just help his dark square bishop. So, I mean, I don't know. That's why I did what I did. He develops the horse. Okay, he's attacking over on this guy. At this point now, I want a castle. I probably could still castle queenside, but I don't know. I don't know. I decided not to. Excuse me. So I developed my light square bishop. I don't know if king or queen side's better at this point. You know, having a rook on one of these files based on which side you castle is going to be great. Both of them are open. Both of them are offensive and strong. Neither one of them directly defends this, but whatever. So I develop here towards the king. I guess was also sort of my thought process, and he moves over here. So. I did see this check last time, or on this move instead of developing the bishop, but it wouldn't really benefit me all that much. It forces the king over, which is fine. I guess it could have stopped his rook going there to begin with, so maybe I could have done this now. But I do like also that I'm still sort of taking care of some of these squares of his dark square bishop as well. So I didn't really want to chase after his king and move it. Maybe in hindsight I should have, because as I was making this video, I realized this is a massive blunder now. I did not see this clearly during the game. I was like, sweet, I was already looking at this square, but now this square is check with a fork. So I took it. It's kind of a big-ass blunder, don't you think? Now, if you don't think this is a blunder in the first 3 seconds of looking at it, then congratulations, we're in the same boat. I didn't see it either. And he didn't see it. Thank God he didn't see it. Because this is potentially game losing against a better opponent. The horse is free because my pawn is pinned. So this guy's not actually defended. The queen can just take it. I missed it. Hopefully you missed it. That would make me feel a little bit better. He missed it too. I was fortunate. I didn't mention at the start. When I got paired up against this, but he's like a 6-year-old kid, 7-year-old kid. He was like, this is my first rated tournament. I've played non-rated tournaments. I play a little online, blah, blah, blah. So this is his first tournament. It's a little kid. He's playing good moves for the most part. At least, you know, they seemed fine. You know, bishop was fine. Horse maybe a little dubious, but c5 seemed interesting. Like, he's not just like getting destroyed. Even if I have an advantage for sure, but you know, I think that was a big benefit. I think if I did this move against opponents later on in the tournament, I don't think it goes as well for me. To be fair, playing against higher rated opponents, I don't get these sorts of positions. You know, they're more whatever, more fought, more challenged. So yeah, no, I blundered. I blundered and neither one of us saw it. So little fortunate with my matchup. More on a fortunate matchup later if I remember to circle back to it. So he moves out of the way. I take the exchange because I don't know any better. I didn't realize this was a mistake, so there we go. I did momentarily think about going here because it's defended. It puts him in check again, makes him move again, but I was like, I'm going to take the exchange. Whatever. Let's just take material. And I condemned this pawn. He's attacking it twice. I'm defending it once. He's totally in line with my king at the moment, with his queen. But I won a pawn over here. I won an exchange. I know that my position is much more offensive. I'm already eyeing this pawn for free. And you know, at some point I can push this guy over to here, and then this bishop sucks. It goes back, and I mean, it's okay here. This actually isn't a terrible square, so I don't have to do that at any point. But you know, I guess the thought process of I have lots of ways to expand, lots of ways to attack. He doesn't have that stuff. So I castle, just condemning this pawn. Fine, take it. I don't care. If you take with the horse, I'll probably trade because it opens up my rook. Brings your queen out, which is fine-ish, whatever. It doesn't really bother me either way. But just, I'm up a little bit, so I probably would just want to simplify in that regard. No big deal. But he puts more pressure on it. I don't know if he didn't realize he had enough to take it already with the horse. Maybe he thought he wanted to bring his bishop to a better square because his bishop is doing nothing there and it never will. This pawn's already even shutting down the knight. So, I mean, this one pawn is shutting down two of his minor pieces completely. This is still a decent square. And, you know, maybe he thought I would want to defend it. And if I put extra defense on it, now he preemptively put more offense on it. So, I don't know. It seems fine. I wasn't expecting it at first. I was expecting just to take the pawn so he wins the pawn. But I think this is pretty solid. I think this is a good move. This is a decent little kid. I think he's playing well. I decided to just start pawn grabbing at this point. I probably should have developed an extra piece so that my rooks can get doubled. You know, maybe develop over here to bring my queen and attack this open file first. But I guess I feel like I needed a decision, a concrete way of finding the best one move square for my queen. And right now there's nothing forcing for it. There's nothing that's an obvious, like, what's the best one square to go to for an immediate threat? It doesn't have anything. So I just took the pawn. You know, if he wants to move his king up and attack me, then so be it. That's fine. I'll move back somewhere, probably all the way back actually. And you know, whatever, if that's the case. And if he never goes after the bishop, then fine. I'm blocking a good square. All right, whatever. Then that does give me ambitions of powerful attacks in the future. So I took the pawn, especially because I figured I'm probably going to lose this pawn. I'll take a pawn. And then he plays d5. I mentioned I'm playing against a 6, maybe 7-year-old kid. First rated chess tournament ever. I don't know if he knows what en passant is. So I'm thinking, first off, if I take en passant, is he going to know what's going on? Is he going to think I'm cheating? Is he going to think something weird happens? Am I going to have to call over an arbiter because of en passant? And then I have to say en passant out loud in public in the tournament. And like, it's kind of weird. You know, it's a hard word to say. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. You guys used to rag on me all the time when I would mispronounce Pokemon names, for God's sakes. I said Palkia, but when we played Gen 4, so many times, I think I had at least like 16 people put in the comments, it's not Palkia, it's Palika, or, you know, whatever. I said it wrong, I guess. Now I don't know which way I had it wrong. But I said it wrong in some way. And then people type out how I said it wrong. But that's just, you know, the same thing, like reading the word versus reading your comment. I'm still just reading it. So hey, achievement unlocked. You've got dyslexia all of a sudden. Great. You know, that doesn't help me. You know, it's not potato, it's potato, or tomato, whatever. Anyway, you guys get the point. Literally, I kid you not, I'm thinking about this shit while sitting there while my clock is ticking down. All of this is going through my head. And then I figure, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna just play the best move I can on the board. So I need to decide which pawn I want to take it with. Taking with this pawn saves the pawn from potential death, opens an potential attack on his queen for my rook. So those are good. Obviously, it attacks his bishop either way. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb is that you want to take toward the center and or take toward the enemy king. Plus, I can undouble my pawn. So there's 3 good reasons for me taking toward the center, toward the king, and undoubling a pawn, a doubled pawn. All of those make it sound really good for the c-pawn. The e-pawn potentially save the e-pawn from death, open up lines of attack. Both of them come with the attack on the bishop. I ended up taking the c-pawn. I don't know if it's correct, but that's what I did. So whatever. I took it. He was like, "Excuse me, my pawn was over here," and I was like, "It's en passant. Do you know what that is?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I know en passant. I just forgot about it. That's okay." And then I told him how to write it down on the board because he didn't know the notation for it. When he castled, he even asked me. He's like, "Do you know what castle is?" And like he took his king and he was like, "Doop, doop," and then he took his rook over, which I think technically you can't do. I know you can't touch the rook first. That's touch move, and then you're somebody could be a real bitch and call you out on that, and then you don't get to castle and screw you over. Hopefully that never ever happens. But it was super cute. Anyway, this kid was awesome. I loved this kid. So I told him how to write the notation for en passant and what, this and that. And then he moved out of the way. It's fine. He put me in check. I could move the king, but I feel like I found a better move that lets me do a lot of things. I want to open my queen up here, give me some good, now it's checkmate threat. So getting my knight out of the way is really good. It attacks his knight, which is fine. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. If he took, then I guess I could take, and then I could go over here to still keep it defended. But it also opens up my rook towards his king. So I feel like this is pretty good. I feel like this is a good move. So that's the move I made. Never in a million years did I think that was going to happen, though. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. It was interesting, to say the least. This pawn was supposed to fall forever ago, so, do I pin it? I could pin it to the queen, but he's got... I guess it's not really attack. He's not going to win anything. But he could at least get out of the pin by sacrificing the horse. Because of check, it gives him time to get out of the way. He can break the pin, but then I'm attacking. So I don't know. Maybe it's not very good, but I definitely didn't think of it, which says whatever it does. Anyway, this video is going on longer than I thought. I said I would try and keep these shorter, so let's try and keep these shorter. Send my queen out there for a few reasons. One, it allows me a chance to bring both of my rooks to the middle wherever I decide to put them, attack the undefended piece, attack this piece, though I don't want to take it just yet. And obviously I can no longer go here with my queen to threaten checkmate because the knight is guarding it. So I mostly just needed to get my rooks open and start creating lots of pressure. Whether I get to immediately capitalize on it, who knows. But there's also another threat. There's also the threat of this. This pawn's got here, and this bishop's got there. So if my queen goes here, that's all she writes. So this move does a lot. This move is absolutely killer. Big attack, open this up, and also checkmate in one threats. I don't even want to spend time trying to think of what could he possibly do about the move. Maybe it's, no, it's not queen down there. I don't know if there's anything he can even do. But he doesn't find anything to do about it either, and it's checkmate. So there we are. I had a really fun match with this little kid. He was just, man, he was awesome. And this little kid, not to mention, from earlier back, I said we'll circle back to it. I was very fortunate I got to play him in round one with it being his first tournament, first rated tournament. And, maybe that helped me with a little bit of inexperience. Maybe that helped me that he wasn't as strong of a player. But not just that, this little kid went on to win 2 of his next 3 games, which is huge for my tiebreakers. Massive that this little kid started kicking some ass after playing me, so it was awesome. No, like we had a decent little conversation, like we talked about the moves after the match and this and that, and gave him a high five and wished him luck and all that jazz. And I know I've mentioned it a handful of times in other chess streams and videos and stuff like that. My first tournament ever was 17 years ago at high school states. I played horrible, and it has traumatized me for 17 years since. It's always bothered me. It's just, it feels terrible. It was my first and my only rated tournament until, last month. Well, not last month, July 6th. So 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, whatever. And so now, this kid, it's his first tournament, and I beat him in round 1. So I was just like, man, hopefully he has a better tournament, and he did. He won 2 of his games after this. He kicked ass. He had a great first tournament. Kid's awesome. Kid's going places, had a bunch of fun. He found me after the whole thing, brought over with his parents, and we had a little chat and talked about the games and this and that. And I had actually looked this game up during the lunch break a little bit, just moved through some of the moves, and told him that I think he made some really interesting things that I've never seen before, so I can't wait to go home and really analyze and look at them later. So just had a great time with this kid, and really happy to got to have played him in round 1. So it's already 24 minutes. I didn't think this video would be that long. I was hoping it'd be like 15, and then I'd have 5 minutes of story time, but now we're at 25. And we haven't even really looked at anything. So we won't do a ton of analysis here. We found the big thing already where I had a massive blunder and got a little bit lucky. I'm not sure the rest of the game really matters too much. Okay, yeah, so we're right. The computer does like E5 more than D4, but it still says D4 is still good, you know, 0.9 to 0.5. That shit doesn't matter at low elo. But at least I'm right now, and now that I see this and have looked at it for just half a minute, E5 is the better play. I didn't do it, so now I know if it ever happens again, that's all fine and dandy. So he also didn't make the best play, and wow, +3 already? Wow. That's crazy. Do I have a way of winning? I love how it's like, this is +3, but I'm not going to tell you any moves. Okay, well, he jumps away. I take, so that was, you know, all right, good. Best move for me. How is this +3? It's equal, materialistically. It's equal. That's wild to me. Okay, I take it back. This move that I thought was super interesting turned out to be terrible. But how am I already +3? What does it recommend? Okay, it wants me to just do some stuff. But I don't, okay, I get to develop my bishop, I guess. I mean, I understand that my position is superior. That's kind of what the Vienna Gambit is all about. You get rapid development, you get better position, you get central control, they get a little bit stunted, and they're just on the back foot the whole game. I get that, but +3? +7? What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to attack him here. Attack him first. I mean, obviously I eventually do H3, but to do H3 first, huh? I guess maybe it's because it forces him out of the way first, and then I don't have to worry about weakening this pawn, so I could take. No, I don't think taking is ever in the cards for any of these lines. I don't know, man. Whatever. So I attack. Fine, sure, whatever. Puts me in check. Apparently also bad. Okay then. Wild. I definitely did not think this would be a +7 position. I knew I was certainly leading. Wow, +9! What? Okay, so yeah, I guess now I can go H3 and force him away, which I do. Open up the king, which I do. Ah, yeah, see, we were talking about it. How now that I realize that this is bad, preventing it in advance might be good. Force the king into the corner. I mean, eventually that was how I won, though. Was getting my bishop over to... Well, I won because of a blunder. Although, to be fair, I feel like I probably still win this game even if he catches my blunder of a horse. I think I was good enough in position and a better overall player. I probably still win. I don't usually feel that way. I'm usually bad at defending and bad from behind. Or at least I feel like I'm bad from behind. You know, if I lose a piece, it's game over, because there's often only one tactic in a game that you need to hit. Once you get the piece, you can win. But, you know, anyway, I feel like I probably would have still been okay in this game. So that's interesting. You want my queen to go here? Why here instead of here? Because at least here, well, I guess there's still this pin. That makes sense. But I would recapture with the knight anyway, probably. Okay. This pawn isn't interesting to me yet, though. I still need more, but I guess targeting it is early enough is fine. I still need more over there. But either way, so I took... it wasn't good, but the engine thinks my position is so strong that it doesn't matter. Wow, it doesn't like my bishop move at all in the top 5 moves? Are you serious? Yikes. Am I throwing? I'm throwing. So now, hold on, now you like the queen here instead of here? Really? Really? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. Okay, yeah, computer hated this one too. So my last 2 moves I just lost +3 with no material loss. That's kind of weird. Chess is impossible, dude. This game is so hard. Here we go. So I am +9. Plus 9.3. Okay, the computer says you should just castle. Don't do this. Plus 9.3. To -3. How is that minus 12.4? It's one horse! Losing one horse is -12? There's a 12.2. There's a 12.4. As I make a horse sound. Holy shit! I mean, I still feel like I win this game, even if he takes it. But my god, man. Alright, so he takes, I probably castle. Yeah, I just castle. And now I lose the pawn in addition. That's fine. I've stupidly placed my bishop. I guess I probably take so that I have a discovered attack on the queen. So he would have to take with the queen, and then my bishop doesn't have to move. Holy moly. -3 from +9. Maybe I don't win. I mean, I still probably do. I'm better. Holy crap. Anyway, let's just get out of here. I don't want to look at any more of these moves. Yeah, it's so bad. It says just castle now. Ignore the fact that you got a free piece over here. Holy moly. Yeah, castle. Just get rid of this pawn. Yikers. Alright, it actually recommends this as one of the best options. One of the top 5 moves, that's fine. Somewhere in there. Good lord. It doesn't like that. So basically what you're saying is every move I made was terrible. Not even in the top 5. It's material. Not even in the top 5. Get it out. Okay. It likes this one, probably because it saves the pawn. It saves the pawn even if positionally it's not as good though. Well, maybe they consider it positionally better. I took that one. Don't care. Does it like this move? I mean, I guess it thinks it's playable. Although, when you're in check, your playable options are pretty limited. There's only 4. There's 5, I guess. Technically, that's playable, and it doesn't even recommend that. So yeah, I suppose you only even have 4 playable moves. And it thinks it's the worst of them. Okay then. It thinks giving up the rook is better than blocking with the horse, that it would be defended, and opens up. That's crazy! So every move I made was terrible. All game long. Every single one of them was god-awful. And yet I got +10 of a position. Well, I made the right move with the queen. Ah, he can defend there. Okay. What would I do about that? I'm just curious. What would I have done if I saw this? I mean, my first thought was rook here, but I can't... No, yeah, because I could go there. Okay. Yeah, so I guess that's probably what I would do. Easy to say in hindsight, though, but check my... Holy crap! Okay, this is now 34 minutes. I want to get the hell out of here. This video is not supposed to be long. Wow. Wow. I didn't realize I got so lucky. Man. This kid was great. He was a ton of fun to play against. I wish him the happiest life of all time. And, you know, him kicking ass afterward the rest of the tournament was huge for my tiebreakers. So, good stuff. Good on this kid. I will catch you guys in the next video. Oh my, I'm shell-shocked right now. I don't know what to say. Oh. I wonder if I still would have won the game if he caught the free piece. I don't know. I didn't think it would have gone from +9 to -3, that's for damn sure. Wasn't I up a pawn? I would have been down 2 points. And it was a -12 of a move. That's madness. Where's the -10 points? That's madness. There's no way the kid finds all the computer moves that make it -12, -3. over the course of the game to accommodate for the extra negative 10 points of material that was positioned. Holy moly. Ow, ow. Just cracked my knuckle on accident. Alrighty, well, we'll see you guys in the next video. Jesus. My God. Holy moly. Let's get the hell out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Whoa.